What's up, everybody? Circus here, coming at you with an exciting video, a deck profile, deck building series. I don't know. The new structure deck came out. Rye has not gone to bed. It came out and he was just like, I can't sleep now because there's a new structure deck. There's new skills. I need to make this work. So Rye was like, I got to share
True.
this with the world. So that's
After
why
the
he's here.
failure that was the red Nova Dragon and whatever else was in that box, I was like, all right, this structure deck, I have to make it work. And funny enough, I think I did, although you guys might hate me for it. I'm sorry in advance. I apologize, but this is honestly the only way I can think
Oh
to
no,
make
that's
this
right.
viable. I
I
want to
not.
clarify. This is for tournament play. This is not free to play deck. This is kind of a dolphin deck. Um,
Yeah, a very large
I'm
dolphin.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So we're
um,
using Dueling Book here because there's a skill that we can't simulate in any other simulator. And then,
yes.
so this is also through Discord, so it's a little blurry, but it's also, everything's manual. So you'll see him going through a lot of things to make things happen here. But this is the
Yes.
easiest way to simulate this combo. So why don't you explain what you're doing here? And
Yeah. So pretty much kind of talking about the cards that we have in the deck. So the skill, first of all, I talked about in the other video. It's the one that lets you start off with a formula synchron in your extra deck. So you can see I have 8 extra deck monsters, as well as allowing you to have one of these, the junk converters, in your graveyard already. So it's kind of like the TG skill when you're using that. We're also packing the new tuning card from the new mini box that's yet to release. So lets you add a synchron tuner. So your targets are Jet Synchron and the Jet Synchron, Junk and Jet
Mhm.
is pretty much the idea for those two. And then everything else is pretty much the Alistair package. You
Okay.
have the Alistair package to summon Purgatrio, which gives you that punching power that the deck kind of needs to
Hmm.
follow up with crazy plays. And then we have 2 more copies of just the actual junk converter so that we can help thin our deck. You discard this card plus any other tuner, and you can add a synchron monster. So you send this card in a jet synchron from your hand. You add the junk synchron. And as far as the extra deck goes, and this is all the reason these ratios are like this are to help the skill actually trigger. You need to
Hmm.
have 8 synchron monsters or junk monsters in your deck, as well as um, having 4 in your extra deck.
Okay.
So that's why it looks the way it is, and I only have 2 Purgatrio versus 3 Purgatrio. Now, Shooting Star Dragon, I'm pretty sure doesn't count as a Stardust, or it shouldn't count as a Stardust. Now, if it did count, I wouldn't have to play an additional Stardust or Junk Warrior. I could play that third Purg, but I actually like this setup for a different reason that we'll go into here. But basically, the combo is you just summon a Junk Synchron,
Well, hang
and
on. You
Junk
got
Sync
5 cards in your hand there, buddy.
I do. We'll return this to the top. That doesn't count.
There we go.
Simulation woes. But basic combo is you have the junk synchron, and he's a 1 card combo to make the Shooting Star Dragon,
Hmm.
which we will show right now because I'm going to reset the deck and I'm going to show you a sample hand.
Oh, we're starting all
So
the way over now. Okay, there we
we're
go.
starting all the way over. So
Okay.
I got one of these. So this makes it easy drawing one of these. So we'll go ahead. We'll send that to the graveyard. Um, and this is perfect. Now we have a 4 card hand. And we have the card in the graveyard and the formula synchron. So we are set. This is the
Hmm.
combo, right? So we already have Shooting Star. The one weakness of this deck is Tooting mills a card. So if I mill my invocation, we're kind of
You're in trouble.
screwed.
You're in
Yeah,
trouble.
but I mean, 16 cards. What are the chances,
Here it comes.
Circus?
Here it
Right here
comes.
we
Here it
go. We're gonna
comes.
go in. We're gonna add the junk synchron because we don't have fiendish chain, so we're not gonna discard anything. We want to mill our deck, add it to the hand. We've got the junk synchron, and now we mill. Oh
Ah!
my goodness! Everything's ruined. How does this happen? We're resetting.
uh,
Do it again. Do
oh,
it again. Doesn't count. We surrendered that
that
one.
could never happen. Never
That could
happen.
never happen in a real game. We're good. We're good to go. So here we go yet again. We're going to put the junk. Actually, let me just draw this card and put the junk converter in just to make it easy into the graveyard. There you go.
Okay,
4
let's try
cards in
this
my opening
again.
hand.
Let's try this
No
again.
tuning this time. No trolling. Nothing crazy like that. We're going to normal summon Junk Synchron. All right. Junk Synchron's here. He triggers his effect, which lets me add the junk converter, special summon him. Now we're going to go into our first synchro play. So we special summon the Junk Warrior using these two. This will trigger the junk converter effect from the graveyard, resummoning the Junk Synchron. Junk Synchron is back. Now we can go into our Stardust Dragon, big boss monster. Well, sort of big boss monster
Mini boss,
to
right?
the
The mini
grave.
boss.
Yeah, the mini boss. Now we have Stardust, which means we can activate our skill. Formula Synchron comes out in defense mode. Uh, and then we pass turn here because we unfortunately didn't open any back row. It is what it is. Happens sometimes. 6 copies, but we don't get it. What is that? But that's okay. We've got this. So now on our opponent's turn or our turn, doesn't matter, whichever we want, we can quick effect the Formula Synchron, go into the Shooting Star Dragon.
This is the big boss.
This is the big boss monster. He's the one where you can excavate the top 5. And then based on the number of tuners, that's how many times he can attack. He can also, on your opponent's turn, stop your opponent from activating a card that destroys monsters. So Lightning Vortex, we can stop that. We can just negate
Okay.
Lightning Vortex. And then if he swings with a monster, we can banish this card, stop the attack. And then during the next end phase, so the end phase that turn, we resummon him after this card's gone, essentially. And then on our next turn, let's draw a card. We've got Tuning, which is super awesome. I'm not going to activate it now because I don't want to mill my invocation because we already have everything we need. We can either go into a Purgatrio, right, if we want to go for game, or I can normal summon Junk Synchron again and do the same exact combo. We bring out the Converter. We bring out our other Junk Warrior. This is why I actually like playing 2 Purgatrio. This is going to trigger the effect, brings out the Junk Converter again, and then boom, 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 boom. You've got a shooting, and you have a Stardust Dragon as well.
And
so there you go.
You can still go into Purgatrio at this point, right?
I've already used my normal summon on
Oh,
Junk
okay. You've
Synchron,
already
so
used
I
your
can't.
normal. Okay.
But so when you use the skill to bring out the Formula Synchron, you're locked into Wind Dragon Synchros, but you can bring Purgatrio out first. So let's say you're playing instead of the you want to play something like because Alistair is a limit 3 package, you could play something like True Nade, for example. You could play MST if you don't want to play True Nade. You can play cards like that, and you can just OTK your opponent essentially by doing everything I did. But instead, we play True Nade, and on our turn, we summon Alistair and then go into Shooting Star, and then go to OTK our opponent because Shooting Star can attack as many times as I have tuners on the top 5 cards of my deck. So
okay,
heavy,
so now
heavy OTK implications there.
So you've been going at this all morning. I have a feeling you haven't slept yet. Going on no sleep up 24 hours straight now.
Of course,
you've done this a bunch. How repeatable is this?
This is super consistent. So you just saw I reset my deck again. This again can be in the graveyard. So this is the perfect hand right here. This is already the combo. We're
one card combo
here.
with Junk Synchron.
We're already here. So check this out, Circus. We're gonna activate. Let's say I'm going level turn 2, and my opponent set 1 card past. That's all he did. We're gonna go in. We're gonna add the Jet Synchron. Again, we don't want to mill the invocation. So actually, this probably would have been smarter to summon Alistair first so I don't get the invocation, right? So let's pretend I did that and I wasn't like big dumb, right?
Okay.
So we did this first to add the invocation so it doesn't get milled out.
Right.
Let's just say I was smart and did that.
Okay, well, so we'll take that on faith.
We'll pretend. We'll pretend.
All right.
And then we mill a card. We get a Jet Synchron, which is pretty cool, but not necessary. We go in for the invocation, activate the invocation. Here we go. You know the whole idea. We got the Purgatrio. This goes into the banish pile, which actually gets returned to my hand because we put invocation back into the deck.
Taking some shortcuts here.
We're taking some
since
shortcuts.
It's all manual in this simulator.
Just quickly do it, basically. And then from here, I still have 2 monster zones, so I can still do the Junk Synchron play. I can also activate the other tuning now because I don't have to worry about the invocation. But we're going to ignore that part for now because we just want to show you what we can do here. And then you do the whole synchro plays yet again. You only need 2 free spots. Boom, boom.
Now the Alistair took up the normal summon there, right? So would you be able to bring out the Junk again?
You are correct. Yes. So I did normal Alistair. Yeah. So in that situation, no, I can't. So I'd have to have invocation in hand. So you see, these are the manual things. This is why Circus is here, keeping me honest.
No, but I mean, you chose to go into Purgatrio. You could have went into the 1 card.
Yeah, I still could have gone into it. Right. But I mean, this is like, let's look at if you look at the first 4 cards, right? That's kind of what we're looking for. As long as you see a Junk Synchron or you see a tuning or you see in your opening hand a Let's see if we actually get it because I only played 2 copies of it. This guy plus a jet synchron, you have the star. You have the shooting star. Like it's guaranteed to come out.
Okay.
You only need to get to junk synchron, and you play 6 copies of junk synchron, and then 2 halves in a junk converter. So shooting star is super easy to get into. The
So
Alistair portion you have to hard draw into.
and the rest is gonna be back row. I would assume you still got to protect the shooting star once it comes out, right?
Yeah, I still, I played personally. I chose to play back row. So here we see we have Alistair, but that's not actually here. So top of the deck. So right here, we already see that we have the shooting star, and then if I wanted to set up for Purgatrio, I can get the Jet Synchron in my deck, or alternatively, since I already have the shooting star, I can just set the Karma Cut and use the tuning as discard material. That's why I chose Karma Cut.
All right.
So whenever I have too much material, I can do that. Or I can just add Jet Synchron and send it with the Karma Cut too. If I'm feeling risky and don't feel like I'm going to hit the Invocation, we're good to go on that as well.
All right. So when we talk about matchups real quick here, Harpies. How do you feel like it's going to set up against Harpies? Because Harpies could just flip that thing back to the hand, right? I mean, there's nothing stopping
Yes.
that.
So Harpies, you've got a few things currently that you can do against Harpies. Obviously, Karma Cut and Fiendish Chain back row is always good against
Mm-hmm.
Harpies, but they are going to have things like Harpies Hunting Ground and Swallow's Nest. So your biggest asset, I think, with Harpies is having a board like this, where you have the Stardust and you have the formula. Uh, the only way they out this essentially is if they have Book of Moon. And it's kind of the
Okay.
same situation with Noble Knights when they activated Merlin and then you Book of Moon them and they can't do anything in response to that. You're kind of hoping for one of these scenarios. So they're going to come out, they're going to try and bounce, presumably, your Stardust Dragon. This would be in defense mode. And then you would quick effect Formula Synchron to ignore or dodge the bounce. And now you have Shooting Star Dragon on the board.
Okay. What about Blue Eyes? They're still pretty hot right now. They're just big beat sticks, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do they match
So
up against
Blue Eyes
this?
is actually really interesting into this deck because alternative dragon, shooting star can stop the alternative pop.
Mm-hmm.
Twin burst dragon, you can stop the attack with shooting star by banishing it, negating one of their attacks. So you've got a lot of options actually against Blue Eyes White Dragon. I kind of feel like that matchup, it just depends on who draws better.
Okay.
And you are a little bit more consistent than Blue Eyes now that they are missing Melody.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, having 3,300 base attack, it's pretty good. It's not bad. So Shooting Star is definitely the win condition there against Blue Eyes. And then, of course, I would probably side something like MST or True Nade for their back row and just try to OTK them because they're not going to play hand traps, right? So,
All right.
trying to OTK Blue Eyes White Dragon.
How about the deck nobody knows how to play against? Fire Kings.
Fire Kings.
Yeah, well,
So Fire
they're
Kings,
they're a top deck right now. So
they are a top deck. So Fire Kings is interesting because if we read the Stardust, actually, let me see. When a card or effect is activated that would destroy a card or cards on the field, you can negate the effect, and if you do, destroy it. So they're going to be constantly like canceling each other out, and it just depends if Fire King can establish more Garunix pops than you can establish, your Shooting
negates.
Star Dragon. But here's
Okay.
the thing, too. You can have Shooting Star and you can have one more Stardust Dragon, which when a card or effect is activated that would destroy a card or cards on the field, quick effect, you can tribute this card. So you can have multiple Stardust come out and try to negate those effects from happening.
Nice.
Where, Desperado, you can't negate Desperado because it's not guaranteed to be destruction, but Garunix is. So
Okay.
some interesting counterplay there, but of course you're going to be proccing the Garunix while doing that, so you're going to have to win fast, which hopefully you get your Alistair. And of course, like I said before, Shooting Star Dragon has OTK potential in himself. Excavate the top 5 cards. How many tuners do we have? 1, 2 tuners, and then we swing twice, or 3
Mm-hmm.
additional times, I think is how it is. Also, maximum number of attacks per battle equals the number of tuners. Okay, maybe not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that means he can't swing at all. No, he should be able to still swing.
It'd be 0. Oh my god.
I think he still gets his base swing, but you need at
Right.
least 2 tuners to get like
Okay.
a double swing. Is how, because it's worded kind of weird in the maximum number of attacks.
Okay.
But still, as long as you're able to get a good chunk of tuners, which this deck plays 6 of them, this guy can swing multiple times for potential lethal.
How about last deck, Thunder Dragons?
Thunder Dragons,
they're still
same,
around. They're still around. I mean,
same thing, right? Levianeer, we can negate that. Because I believe when a card or effect is activated, that so this one, it doesn't have to target. I wonder if Stardust, does Stardust target? on the field. Activate those. Yeah. So yeah, pretty much same scenario as Fire Kings. They can the Star Dragons can negate the destruction, and they're very consistent in summoning the Shooting Star Dragon. So it really just comes down to really the thing that you really don't want to happen is your Shooting Stardust gets Karma Cut, because if it gets banished, that's it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's pretty much it. If it gets bounced, that's it pretty much too. So you're trying to dodge those effects as much as possible. So Book of Moon and Karma Cut are the two big factors when it comes to this deck, but I feel like they're the biggest factors when it comes to any deck, if we're
And
being
you're
totally
going to see
honest.
this with deck building as the deck evolves. We might see like Forbidden Lands put in there, or
Yeah.
all kinds of different things. So this is just real early stuff. So keep that in mind. But I think just hearing you talk about it now, it sounds like this deck. Let us buy it first. Let us waste
There's
our money.
potential. There's potential. Yes.
Let us waste.
Let us waste the money, and then we'll let you
We'll let you
know
know. But
how
just
good it
looking at it
is.
right
Yeah.
now, it seems like it's going to have some potential. So
Yeah.
think about whether or not you're going to get into it. For $20, you'll be able to get 3 copies. So let us know what you're going to do in the comments below. And as you're doing that, get in our Discord because it's free. The tournaments are free, and the new player help is free. I'm Circus. That's the excited Rye who needs a nap.
I do.
He's sleeping right now. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here, and we'll see you next time.
Peace out, YouTube.